Why did you call Nikki? It's so early in the morning.
Guys, I have a big problem kasi. Please help me.
Ano ba yun? Tell us na.
Malaka talaga siya, guys.
Oh my God, Nikki, don't tell me this is about your ex na naman. Paulit-ulit na lang tayo dito, girl.
Of course, not about him. It's about our assignment kasi in accounting. The statement of comprehensive income. It was super hard kasi I don't know what to do.
Na! May ganun? Ano ba yun?
My God, wala pa rin ba kayo?
Guys,
Paano
stop.
na to?
It's so easy kaya, duh. I'll help you all.
Paano? Hindi ka naman nagpapakopya.
Ouch ha, grabe ka naman magpatama, girl. Not that kasi, I'll recommend you a video wherein you can learn SCI problems. Wait, I'll share my screen.
Masayang buhay!
I am Teacher Rhea, and here is my partner.
Teacher Solomon.
And today, we are going to discuss the statement of comprehensive income.
Are you ready, student?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Very good. How about you, partner? Are you ready?
I'm always ready, partner.
Then, let's start the discussion. To begin our discussion for today, we are going to answer first the question. What is a statement of comprehensive income? Do you have any idea? Alright! The statement of comprehensive income is also known as income statement, which was discussed to us during our Pub 1. It contains the report of company financial performance through presenting the entities, revenues, gains, expenses, and losses for the period ended. Now that we are done with the meaning of SCI, let us know from Teacher Rhea what are its elements.
Have you ever heard the elements of SCI or Statement of Comprehensive Income? Well, if you have, you know where we start. There are three elements of SCI. Revenues or income, cost of sale or cost of goods sold, and expense. Let's start with revenue or income. Revenue is the total amount of income generated by the sales of goods or services related to the company's primary operations. In other words, kabuang kita. Next is cost of sale or cost of goods sold. It is the cost incurred to purchase or to produce the products sold to customers during the period. Cost of goods sold is also referred to as cost of sale. Lastly, operating expense. An operating expense is an expense a business incurs through its normal operations. It includes rent expense, equipment expense, and supplies expense, and more. Now that you know the elements of SCI, let us now move on to the next topic. Teacher Solomon.
Thank you for that, partner. Now, we're going to dig deeper to one of the formats of SCI, which is the single-step format. This format offers a simple report of business, revenues, expenses, and net income into single-step total. The advantage of this single-step format is that it is easily to prepare and analyze. In addition, this format is used in the service business as they separate all the revenues from the expenses of the company. The equation used in the single-step income statement is net income or loss equals revenue minus expenses. Come on, let's get started! The first step is the heading. For us to easily remember, keep in mind these three WH questions. First is who, or the name of the company, where in our example, it is the Pythagoras Company. Next is what, or the name of the financial statement you are doing. As for today, we are preparing a statement of comprehensive income. Lastly, is when, or the period covered by the report, or in our example, it is for the year ended December 31, 2020. After the heading, we are going to proceed to the second step, which is revenue, or the total amount of income generated by the company providing services to customer. In our example, the value of service revenue is 150,000 pesos. Next, for our third step, it is the expenses of the service company. Please note, in listing the expenses, make sure that the expense with the largest amount always come first. So here, we have a salary expense, which is 45,000 pesos, followed by the rent expense, which is 20,000 pesos, then depreciation expense of 15,000 pesos, next is utilities expense of 10,000 pesos, and lastly, miscellaneous expense of 5,000 pesos. After we listed all the expenses, we're going to sum it up all to get the total expense of 95,000 pesos. Now that we have the values on revenue and the total expense, we can proceed on getting the net income or loss. To get it, just subtract the total expense, which is 95,000 pesos, from the revenue of 150,000 pesos, and you will get a difference of 55,000 pesos, which is our net income. Do not forget that to double rule the amount of net income or loss, as it is important in every financial statement. Now you know what a single step format is. Let us proceed to the other format, which will be discussed by Teacher Rhea.
Thank you, Teacher Solomon. Now, you might be wondering what a multi-step approach has to do with this presentation. Well, in this topic, you will learn how to make an SCI using a multi-step format. But before that, what is a multi-step approach? A multi-step income statement is one of the two income statement formats businesses use to report their profit. A multi-step income statement reports a company's revenues, expenses, and overall profit or loss for a specific reporting period. It is a more detailed alternative to the single-step income statement and uses multiple equations to calculate a business's net income. Now, let's move on to the next topic. This time, I'm going to show you how to prepare a statement of comprehensive income using the multi-step format. Step number 1. Write the heading. It includes the company's name, title of the report, which is Statement of Comprehensive Income, and the date covered. For example, Pythagoras Company, Statement of Comprehensive Income for the year ended December 31, 2020. Step number 2. You have to determine the net sales, sales less, sales returns, and sales discount. Next, step number 3. After the net sales, group the cost of goods sold accounts starting from beginning inventory, net cost of purchase, purchases, purchase returns, purchase discounts, net purchases, and freight in. And now you have to add the beginning inventory and the net cost of purchases to get the cost of goods available for sale. And then deduct the cost of goods available for sale from the beginning inventory. Step number 4. you have to determine the gross profit by deducting the cost of goods sold from the net sales. Next step, step number 5. This time you have to determine the general and administrative expenses. It includes salaries expense, rent expense, depreciation expense, utilities expense, and the miscellaneous expense. Step number 6. After that, you have to determine the selling expenses, the freight out, store supplies, uncollectible accounts, and the taxes and licenses. Step number 7, the last step. You have to determine the net income by deducting the operating expenses from the gross profit. And this is the example of statement of comprehensive income using the multi-step format. Now that you know what single-step and multi-step formats are, let us now know from Teacher Solomon the importance of statement of comprehensive income.
Now that you know the two formats used in preparing the statement of comprehensive income, is it really important for a business to prepare an SEI? Definitely. It's because without an SEI, the company will not know if they are truly earning something from their business. Also, it provides summary of all sources of revenues and expenses and to know the net income of the company.
In conclusion, the statement of comprehensive income provides a summary of a company's net assets over a given period of time. In other words, the statement highlights the adjustments of equity during the given time frame, whether you use single-step format or a multi-step format. Start assuming to go on. And that, ladies and gentlemen, was what we wanted to share with you.